Hey guys, Jonathan here with Florida Turf Pros. In this video, I'm going to give you a walk around and first impressions slash overview of the new Gravely 452 Pro Turn that we've recently picked up. Before I did that, I wanted to just kind of bring you up to speed on where our business is headed in 2018 and let you know why we had to pick up this new mower. Okay, many of you know, if you've been watching the channel for any period of time, you know that our market is small residential homes, and last year we ran a Gravely Pro Stance 36-inch wide open. That was our only mower, and that thing worked. That mower, I have nothing but just accolades for. That thing has just been awesome, and I truly believe that that was and still is the ideal mower for our primary target market, which is small residential homes. So if I'm such a believer in the Gravely Pro Stance 36-inch, why in the world would I get a sit-down 52-inch then? Well, here's the reason. So last year I noticed that we started receiving an increasing number of calls from the north end of our county where there was bigger properties up there, 1 acre to 2 acres, all right? And I could not put a 36-inch on those properties at a competitive price. So therefore, what I was having to do is I ended up referring that work out, to other guys in the area who I've become friends with. Now, that was okay, for a little bit, because, again, many of you know that I am just a huge advocate of running your assets wide open at peak capacity, and it's better to refer out some work here and there to stay focused than it is to put a bad piece of machinery that's not suited for a particular type of property. That being said, okay, here is a mistake I made last year, and I wanted to share it with you, okay? A conservative estimate is I probably referred out $20,000 to $25,000 worth of revenue. All right, that's a conservative estimate. Now, it's okay to refer out work here and there, but that's enough to get my attention. That lets me know as a business owner, I've got to make a better decision on, how we're going to address those calls from now on, because if I'm referring out some work here and there, no big deal. But, if you're referring out $25,000 in revenue, you need to make an adjustment on your end. So that's why we picked up the 452. Why did I go with a sit down instead of another stander? Basically, there's two reasons. It's comfort and speed, okay? The Pro Stance stander was extremely comfortable mower, but my rationale was if we're going to be cutting bigger properties and we're going to be cutting like 2 acres, then I want to be sitting down and I want to be as comfortable as possible, and I want a mower that is as fast as possible. I wanted a fast mower and I wanted a comfortable mower, okay? So the Gravely, after doing a lot of research and talking to some guys in my area, it seemed to be a good choice for us. So we picked one up, and so far, guys, I have nothing but awesome things to say about it. So I wanted to give you a walk around of that mower. Let's jump right into it. All right, guys, I was able to get some hours on the Gravely 452 today, and I wanted to talk about some things that have stood out with this machine to me. So if you're thinking about picking this machine up, hopefully this will give you a little bit of information to go on. Okay, so the first thing that I noticed about the machine was the air ride seat. I thought this was going to be kind of gimmicky, but it's awesome, guys. It truly feels like it's floating. It is a very, very comfortable ride. Truthfully, I don't see how you're going to make a ride much more comfortable than this machine. I just was very, very impressed with that seat, and then also the lumbar support. You can adjust it right here with this dial as to how stiff you want the lower back support on that seat. So there's a lot of ways to get this seat just the way you want it. You have this right here. The seat slides forwards and backwards. It's like a car seat, man. It's just a lot you can do with it and get it really dialed into yourself. And I was able to do that today, and it felt great. So first thing I noticed was it was very, very comfortable. The second thing was it operated very, very smoothly. Just the tracking of the mower, the turns, it just felt strong. It just felt very, very smooth. There was no jerkiness to it at all. That was the other thing that stood out to me. I did not know how I was going to like the deck adjustment dial right here. We have this on our Pro Stance, which I love it on the Pro Stance, but I'm just used to a pin system on the on sit down on zero turns, and I didn't know if I was going to like this or not. But my thoughts on this are right now I love it. It's very, very quick. You just take the pressure off of the dial with their foot lever, and then give it a quick spin, and then you're exactly where you want to be. So Many of you know how the system works, but if you don't, like I said, you just use that deck lever, just take some tension off the dial, and then just spin the dial around to wherever you want. It's a very, very fast system. It's really, really unique. So, comfort, the tracking, and the deck adjustment, those were all things that really stood out to me. I also felt just like, I felt like I could run this thing into a brick wall and I would just knock down the wall. You know, I think it gets overplayed, you know, saying machines are built like tanks and whatever, but I can say that this machine, my initial impressions of it, it feels, I mean, it feels like the real deal. It feels sturdy. Our Gravely Pro stance has held up very, very well, and I don't see, I mean, I haven't done anything to it other than, you know, regular maintenance on that machine. I don't see this one as being anything different. No flat front tires. We went with a 52-inch deck. Is there anything else here that stood out? Yeah, so the gas tanks. These things look mean, and you know, for whether or not they look mean or not, they serve a functional purpose. Whenever you're actually in the chair, your line of sight is much better, that those things don't stick out. You can just see where your wheels are tracking a lot better, especially whenever you are backing up. Having those gas tanks designed the way that they're designed, it just helps out, you know, with your line of sight. And whenever I was going around flower beds and borders and stuff like that, that really seemed to help. So I have an OCDC on order right now. Okay, sorry about that. Had a phone call, but I think I touched on all the most important parts of this mower, guys. I don't know if I mentioned the seat isolators there. One thing I do want to stress again is just how comfortable the mower is. That was something that I was shocked at just how well it drove, how smooth it was, and just how comfortable it was. Hey guys, one other thing that I did not mention in that overview of that mower, but it needs to be mentioned, is the cut quality. I don't think Gravely gets the respect that they're due for the cut quality. We primarily have warm season turf grasses in our area, you know, Centipede, Zoysia, St. Augustine, some Bermuda, and our Pro stance has always had a fantastic cut, but this is the first time I got to use the X Factor 2 deck, and I was very impressed with the cut quality. It was laser tight, there was no stragglers, I didn't have to double cut anything, and I just don't hear that talked about a whole lot with Gravely. You hear a lot about, you know, X Mark's cut quality and Skag's cut quality, but I have had now 2 Gravely's, and warm season turf grasses, it cuts awesome. That's all I can say. So again, I don't hear that talked about a lot with Gravely, but I'm sure there's some Gravely owners out there that can vouch for that. So let me know your thoughts on it, guys, as far as your opinions on cut quality with Gravely. I've had really good experience so far.